Hey guys, stop everything for a second because the new game Wang Yue just dropped a trailer, and this might be one of the most beautiful and ambitious open-world gacha games we have seen in a very long time. Imagine a game that gives you two completely different worlds in one experience, a futuristic city in the sky and a massive fantasy world below it. Yeah, this game is not just pretty, it looks absolutely wild. For those who haven't heard about it yet, Wangyue, which is also known as Moongaze, is a brand new open-world action RPG being developed by Star Studio and Wangyue Network Technology. The game is currently being developed for PC, Android, and iOS, with console versions planned for the future. What makes Wangyue interesting is that it combines a modern urban setting with a fantasy mythological world, creating a really unique experience. Players take on the role of individuals known as King Wu, people blessed with special powers who must fight against a mysterious force known as the Nine Sons of the World, entities that are slowly distorting reality itself. The game draws heavy inspiration from the famous Chinese legend of Hou and the Nine Sons. Right now, Wangyue is being talked about as one of the most anticipated gacha games in the Chinese market, especially because it's aiming to compete with games like Wuthering Waves, Ananta, and NTE. But guys, there's one thing that really makes this game different from the others, and honestly, I think it might be its biggest strength against giants like Ananta or Wuthering Waves. That is the structure of the world. The world is described as being shaped like an hourglass, with two main layers. On the top, you have a modern floating city in the sky. On the bottom, you have a natural fantasy world below it. So if you love fantasy-style games like Wuthering Waves, you can go down into the lower layer and explore a full fantasy world filled with creatures and monsters. But if you prefer a more modern vibe like NTE, then the upper layer gives you a modern city full of machines, buildings, and a completely contemporary atmosphere. That is why I think this game could become a serious competitor. It is not only visually stunning, but it also lets players move between two completely different worlds and face the mysteries and challenges of each one. The entire story is inspired by the legend of Hou, the hero who saved humanity by shooting down 9 suns. In Wangyue, those legendary suns have become powerful forces that threaten reality itself. As a King Wu, your mission is to uncover the connection between the moon, the world, and these mysterious suns, while preventing the collapse of reality. The story seems to mix mythology, science fiction, mystery, and fantasy together, which could create a very interesting narrative if the developers execute it properly. Another feature that stands out is something called moon spirits. These are special creatures that players can collect, upgrade, and use during combat. But they're not just battle companions. Each moon spirit has its own story, lore, and place within the world. They appear to play a major role in both the gameplay and the overall narrative. The city itself also looks incredibly ambitious. According to available information, the city is filled with advanced AI-powered NPCs that have their own personalities and behaviors. The game also includes social systems, city management mechanics, and even law enforcement systems with police and prisons. That's not something you usually hear about in a gacha game, and it could make the world feel much more alive and immersive. Now, let's talk about the characters. Based on current CBT information and leaks, there are 6 known playable characters so far, which is actually pretty interesting because the roster is split evenly between male and female characters. That's something we don't see very often in modern gacha launches. For the female characters, we have Ling Xuan, a sword user who can manipulate gravity, Miao Yu, a mage capable of summoning moon spirits, and Yang Li, a support healer who controls water and lunar energy. On the male side, we have Zhao Han, an archer who uses solar-powered energy arrows, Chen Zi, a mechanic and driver who specializes in building and upgrading vehicles, and Hui Yan, a powerful tank character capable of generating moon energy shields. Of course, these are only the characters we've seen so far, and it's highly likely that many more will be revealed before launch. When it comes to combat, Wangyue is going all in on real-time action gameplay. Players can perform combos, dodge enemy attacks, unleash powerful abilities, and coordinate attacks with their moon spirits. Battle bosses appear to be a major focus as well, with large-scale encounters requiring strategy, timing, and proper team composition. Exploration also looks like a huge part of the experience. The world is completely open, allowing players to freely travel between the futuristic city and the fantasy wilderness. There are multiple forms of transportation, including ground vehicles, flying vehicles, and even customizable cars. Some areas can only be reached by using specific moon spirits, which adds another layer of progression and discovery. Speaking of moon spirits, they're much more than simple companions. Players can collect them, level them up, evolve them, and create different combinations depending on their playstyle. Some may be better for combat, while others might help with exploration or puzzle solving. This system alone could become one of the game's biggest selling points. And yes, before anyone asks, Wangyue is a gacha game. Players will obtain new characters, rare moon spirits, and special equipment through the game's banner system. Like most modern gacha games, it also includes a pity system designed to guarantee rewards after a certain number of pulls. Now, let's talk about something that mobile players care a lot about: performance. Wangyue is being developed using Unity. That's actually very important because Unity is generally known for being more mobile-friendly than some other engines. If the developers optimize the game properly, it could run significantly better on lower-end devices compared to some of the heavier open-world titles currently on the market. So if you've been worried about your phone turning into a portable heater, this might be good news. Development reportedly began back in 2022, and right now the game is still going through testing phases in China. The game is currently in CBT and pre-registration stages, which means a global test could potentially happen sometime in late 2026 if everything goes according to plan. Overall, Wangyue is looking incredibly promising. The dual-world design, mythology-inspired story, moon spirit system, modern city mechanics, and open-world exploration all combine to create something that feels genuinely fresh in the gacha market. Of course, it's still early and we'll have to wait and see how everything turns out, but based on what we've seen so far, this is definitely a game worth keeping an eye on. So what do you guys think? Could Wangyue become a serious competitor to games like Wuthering Waves, Ananta, or Neverness to Everness? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.